What's up everyone, WizardKen here with another video of World of Tanks Xbox 360. I know I haven't done a special on a tank in a while, but I'm going to do one today because I finally unlocked the IS-3. I've been working my butt off to get this tank. I've been using all my XP from all my other elite tanks and everything just to get this tank as quickly as possible. It's taken me about 2 weeks to actually get this tank, so it's been some struggles, and that's mostly because matchmaking has been an asshole and tearing me with really high tier tanks that the IS just cannot do but so much with. Anyways, let's talk about the tank real quick, and just so you guys know, this may be a two-parter. You might not see gameplay in this one. It all depends on how quickly I can get looking this tank over done with. I really want to make sure you guys understand it and stuff before I start showing gameplay and putting what we've talked about into practice. So let's start with the front like we usually do. I'll zoom in here. As you can see, there's some padding in the front on the upper plate. That helps a little bit with you know, blocking some shots, but to be honest with you, this tank doesn't have a lot of upper armor strength at all. Its basic benefits of the whole tank is that it is angled, and you need to use that to your advantage. As you can see, it is shaped like a snowplow. It's curved very nicely at a, I would say, about a 35-degree angle in the front both ways. Now, your hardest parts for anybody to be able to penetrate you are going to be where the welding lines are. I know I can't show you that real quick, but it basically looks like the beak, the pointy beak. Anywhere in there, it's kind of hard for any tank to really penetrate you. The lower plate, as you can see, is still kind of visible. It's actually it's kind of exposed. Not as bad as most tanks are, but it is pretty exposed. Really, there's nothing much on the front that they can hit, other than if they have a really good amount of penetration and you're not angled well, that they could really go in, you know, and penetrate your armor. Most of the time, I just get tracked in the front. Now, some of those tanks do hit me because I'm not angled well enough or something like that, and I'm still getting used to the 360 version of angling myself and stuff like that. The sides of the tank are angled a little bit, but your tracks are pretty exposed, so you do have a chance of getting some damage through there, and that's where I mostly get most of my damage, is through the sides, because they are angled a little bit, but there's not that much angled armor. It's not like the E100 where it's completely decked out angled on the sides. The back, same like the KV-1S and the IS. It does have a sloped back end, which I have for ricochet stuff. But you also still have, if I remember right, these are the gas tanks. So anywhere in the back, if you get hit in the back left side or the back right side, you're going to probably catch on fire. This is still one of those already loved tanks because it is easy to blow you up. This is not very much protection on top if artillery shoots you. Of course, like I said, nothing too different on the other side either. Now, this is the turret is going to be your baby, just like your front armor is. Kind of using hills and rocks to your advantage to block your front plate from getting hit, top or bottom. Your turret, even though it doesn't stick very high off the ground, and you'll notice that during gameplay, this turret is very round. It's smooth as a baby's ass. It's very hard to penetrate. There are just like two little slots right, left, and right of the gun. You can see a little hole on the right side of the gun right here that we're staring at. My right, that we're staring at. Right there and the left side, same exact spot, are the only spots that they could really hurt you at. And also this very top, you can see a little slit in the top. And that's another viewport that they can hit and hurt you on this tank. But they're kind of hard to hit. Majority of the time when I get to hit there, I just lose a viewport, or I lose, you know, the accuracy of my gun. My gun's damaged. You have some, unlike the IS and the KV-1S, you know, you don't have a huge hatch to worry about. The only thing you have on top is the viewports. And as you can see, I mean, if you lose viewports, it sucks, but you know, it's better than losing life. This is a great tank. The tracks that you get eventually on the last package allow you to go up to, I believe, 40 kilometers, which is a pretty good speed for a tank like this. It's pretty fast. It's very maneuverable. For you guys that like to play peekaboo, especially in the city maps, this tank is very good at being able to use the corners of the buildings to help with the ricocheting, or at least lining up your armor enough to ricochet most shots. This thing can pop in and out of corners very quickly and do a significant amount of damage. Everything from basically a Tiger 2 will pretty much be scared of you coming at them. E75s, all of them are going to be pretty scared of you. So let's get into the packages real quick, so we can start looking at this tank a little bit more in depth. Now, you've got 3 packages to start out with. You got the 100mm and the 122 and the 122D-25T. Now, this is the same 122 that you could have unlocked on the IS. This is why I said not to worry about unlocking that package, is because once you unlock this package on the IS3, if you go back to the, because you guys know I never bought these other packages, once you unlock that gun with the IS3, you're going to have it unlocked here. So this is going to be free, and this is going to be free. So instead of wasting your money on, or your research points on these 2 upgrades, you could just save it. Save your money up, buy the IS3, okay, like I did, and then I bought that first package. Once you buy that first package, you can go back to the IS and unlock those 2 barrels without having to pay any research points. The only thing you have to pay for is the silver to put the guns on your tank. But going back to this, you have 3 barrels to choose from. Now, they're all, you know, special in their own way. And we will look at this real quick. The IS-3-100, the 100mm does 175 penetration, 230 damage. Now this does have a rate of fire of pretty much 7.5, which is a decent amount. The penetration's not too bad either, but in a tier 8, that's not the most amazing. Same thing with the 122. Basically the Object 703 starts with this gun, if I remember right. The D-2-M5T. Now this has a rate of fire of 4 rounds a second, and it does 175 so it's the same as the 100mm. So it really depends on what you want. Do you want a faster rate of fire, or do you want something that does a little bit more explosive damage? Me personally, I went with the 122 D-25T. Reason why, a little bit more expensive to unlock this one right off the bat, but the thing is that this thing can almost reload at 5 seconds, and this is, in these higher tiers, you do need a little bit more, you know, speed to be able to reload. Now it's not as fast as the 100, but it does a lot more damage in a sense, you know. So me personally, I would suggest getting the M1945. That's just my personal preference, because either way, you're gonna have to unlock this package to get the biggest 122, which, guys, once you get to that gun, it's gonna be amazing. You're gonna have the let's see, does this upgrade the engine? Actually, this one already upgrades the engine. So this thing does 225 penetration, 265 penetrations on the sides. Okay, this thing is amazing. This thing is probably one of the best guns I could say for this tier. It's really nice. I know there's some other tanks that have better, but for the Russian tanks, this is a very nice gun. You can almost shoot 5 rounds a minute, which isn't too bad. Plus, once you get the gun rammer and all that stuff on there, you'll be doing fine. Plus, when your crewmen actually upgrade more, you'll get, you know, you'll go a lot quicker too. So 225 pen, but you still stay at the 390 damage. let's see, your traverse speed is 30. So you go, you know, it says 30, but I've seen it go up to 39 and stuff, you know, going down the road. It's a pretty decent speed tank. You know, majority of the time you're going to be going down hills or this and that, so you're going to get the speed that you need from it. The turret armor is 220 on the top, so that's, unless they have something just as big as your gun, they're not going to be able to pen you very easily. Now your view range is 350. The max is, with everything on a tank, is 500, I believe, but 450 is the like basic view range of like a light tank that could see, or a medium tank that could see that far. The light tanks, we don't have the higher tier light tanks that could see 450. I don't believe the Leopard or the Lutch or anything like that can actually see that far. Right off the bat, I think they have to be upgraded. So, anyways, let's talk about just the standard. I'm gonna have to get out of this real quick, just so we can hit. Now, as you can see, your armor's a little bit better than the IS. It's definitely better angled. You know, the recon part of it is pretty decent. Now you can see my equipment. I do have the tank gun rammer, which helps you with your reload speed. It's about a 10% increase. I also did the enhanced gun lane drive too, to help my aiming reticle zoom in a lot quicker and allow me to, you know, shoot a lot quicker. I mean, that's the one thing you guys need to know. If you're going to peekaboo in and out, you're going to need that enhanced gun lane drive to sit there and zoom in on a tank quicker so you can move in and out. This gun is not very accurate, as you guys have seen on some of my videos with the IS. So you just have to be careful with this, with the tank. Make sure you have all the proper equipment. Make sure you have your repair kits and everything else on there. I'm trying to see if this will tell me. Yes, this will tell me. Now, see, this is what I was talking about on your hull damage, your hull armor. It only has 110. Most guns at the tier 8 are going to be able to pen that easy, even the small tanks. Like I said, the advantages of this tank is that you could, you know, allow it to ricochet a lot. So, it's really, really, really nice on taking on Tiger 2s, KV5s. It's a really just great gun all around. Now, you still have to worry about the Tiger 2 and the E75s and stuff like that, because we'll go onto their screen right now. I'm sorry, load screen sucks on this. So, alright. So let's look at this. Tiger 2. Okay. His whole armor in the front is 150. Now you guys are like, oh, well, that's not bad. You can pen that every day. Remember, this tank does have a sloped front end, so sometimes you're going to ricochet. So don't worry, just keep trying. Even its turret armor isn't the greatest. But his shell penetration, if you guys didn't notice down at the bottom left, it does say 152 to 254. So he can pen you no matter what, unless you angle yourself pretty decently. And that's just something you guys are going to have to practice on. It's not an easy task to do. So, let's look at his biggest gun. Yeah, see, his biggest gun does as much penetration as we do. Okay? His damage isn't as much, but he can reload a little quicker than us. So keep that in mind if you feel like you're going to do this huge run at a Tiger 2 and just think you're going to kick his ass. Because I'm going to tell you this, if he can reload quicker than you and he can get around you, or if he can find a weak spot on you, he will do it. Remember, he is also taller than you too, so the top of your turret is a possibility for him to hit. Also, the E75, you're looking at 185 turret armor and 160 hull armor. So you can still pen them, but remember, they're angled armor just like you are. So it's a lot harder to do. Me personally, I try to aim for the turret as much as possible. Either I'm going to damage the gun, or something like that. That's just me. Also, their hatch on the top is one of the greatest spots to hit. Also with this, with these 122s, but you gotta have you gotta have patience with your 122. It's not gonna be very accurate at all. So, but let's get into his packages. Get to his big gun. If I remember right, this is gonna be his biggest gun. Yeah, right here. So this thing's gonna only shoot almost 4 rounds a minute, but it does 246 pen, so it's even more than yours does, and it's not gonna be hard for him to pen you in the front. I have ricocheted these guys before. I've ricocheted T95s before, but it is very, very hard to do. He does 490 damage, which is even more damage than what the IS-3 does. So he's a tough cookie. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed this little lesson. I'll do some more. We are going to be doing the IS-8 as soon as I get it, but that's like 165,000, so don't expect it anytime soon. I gotta do just like you guys do. I don't get any special cheat codes, or Wargaming doesn't like send me things to allow me to do this. I have to do this just like y'all do. But remember, one thing me and Bubba were talking about today were nerd pulling it up like I do. Using my free XP and converting XP with gold is fine if you know how to run tanks. If you guys are still learning, or you're having troubles with your tanks and this and that, don't worry about it. Just play the tank, learn the tank, have fun with the tank that you're on. I know it's frustrating and hard, and sometimes, getting the extra XP might be the best thing to do, maybe not. But at least then you'll learn the game, and you won't be like a lot of these guys I've seen on here that just don't know how to play. So, but anyways, guys, I'm WizardKen, and until next time, see ya.